Alright guys, so what's going on? It's the next morning. I haven't picked up the camera much. Just been trying to get this all done. So basically what I've done is the parts that still had chrome, I went ahead and hit them with like a 320 grit sandpaper. Got that down, hit it with a 600, and then I used a red Scotch-Brite, which is the blending Scotch-Brite. It says it's like 400 to 1000 grit sandpaper. This will be just enough to rough up the surface, but it's not going to leave deep enough scratches to where you're going to need to sand past this. So this is a good rough coat for paint. So I've done this housing, and then this housing is done as well. You can see it all has like a nice dull finish. So I need to do this, and then what I'm doing is I'm going to start drilling holes. You want to drill any holes, figure out where all your stuff is going to go. So like that. There's obviously going to be mounting hardware, so you need to figure out where all this stuff is going to go before you paint. And then also, if you're running halos, I highly recommend you get beading wire. So if I can get that to stay, I want to show you. So I have one actual point of contact for the adhesive, and that is it. The rest doesn't touch anything. So I'll show you guys what that looks like in a little bit. It's hard for me to obviously do this by myself, but basically you're going to find the smallest drill bit you can find. I found a 16th inch. Drill two little pilot holes. My beading wire is not here yet. It was supposed to be here, or it's supposed to be here today, but basically it's kind of like a zip tie in a way. So you'll drill the two holes, you'll feed it through the back, and then you would just twist it off tight and it'll hold it so the adhesive, well, you never have to worry about the adhesive giving out. And you want to attach the beading wire on your most points of contact. So you can see there's a little gap here, but it touches here. So I'm going to attach one here, probably up in this corner. It's super thin. It's like 0.4 millimeters thick. So if you do it correctly, it's nothing you're ever going to see. So I'm going to finish sanding. Drill all my holes and everything that needs to be done. Also with if you are retrofitting projectors, I know for at least mine and for quite a few of them, the projector is not going to fit through the old bulb housing. So you're going to need some sort of rotary tool, which I'll show you what that looks like, and you'll just sand that out to a smooth circle. Okay guys, I'm going to keep knocking this out and I'll update you in a little bit. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about here with the rotary. So get yourself a rotary tool, make sure you guys can see, and you're just going to come in here and round this out just until you get to this lip here. Alright, let me dump this out. Got a lot of dusting here. Alright, so now this is what you're left with, and now the projector will fit in. Just like that. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other one here. Kind of clean up my mess and move on to the next step. Okay guys, so I just want to touch base. Next thing I had to do was fit up the shrouds. So in a full piece, and I just have, so make sure when you're doing this you keep the nut on the back loose, because when you tighten that nut down it'll actually like warp so where it holds it in place. So I just kind of have it loosely in here, and then I went to line up the shroud, and as you can see by how much is actually cut away, that there was a lot to do to actually make it fit, but it does fit now, so it clears everywhere that it needs to be. So I definitely recommend, if you don't have a rotary tool, you invest in one. This is just a Harbor Freight one, super cheap. I want to say it was like 20 bucks. And then obviously I just went around and trying to do this looking behind the camera, just went around. Obviously you can cut it all out, and so now it fits. So something else I had done as well, I'll bring the camera over here and show you because of the lighting, is figuring out how to mount the pods that I'm going to run. So first thing I did, because I'm going to be painting these white, I need to make sure that these clear without contact. So if you can see right here, I actually took the rotary tool with the sander, the same thing I used to round out the headlight bezel for the projector, and I just sanded that down, because if I didn't do that, when you push this pod in, you're going to, I take the chance of risking of chipping off or scratching my white paint that you would obviously see. So then from there, there is no room to run any hardware of any kind. So what I did is drilled a really small little like pilot hole through to find out, make sure I was lined up in the right spot, and drilled all the way through. And then I'm just going to put a nut bolt washer, locking washer, and probably a little bit, honestly, just a little bit of blue Loctite, just to be safe. I don't ever want that coming loose and my pod falling out inside my headlight. Or I mean, sorry, red Loctite. Red Loctite is basically like permanent, and I will have no reason to really ever take these off. So what I'm doing now that these are all cut out, I touched on it earlier, is taking these here, so lining up the halo where it needs to be, and then finding out where I'm going to drill a hole to feed. Let me bring you down a little bit, I apologize. Okay, so next I'm lining up the halo here and finding out, first of all, where I need to drill my hole to run my plug-in back. Probably going to be just right here. And then also my beading wire is still not here, but I'm still going to drill the holes just because I know how I'm going to drill the holes, so I don't need the wire here right now. These have to be painted anyways. But I'm going to go ahead and drill little holes through for my beading wire. Alright guys, so got the first holes drilled here for the bead wire. As you can see, they're very, very small. Got one there and one there. Try and put the holes obviously where the LED isn't touching. I'll probably do a couple here on this part of the light, just because it's really my only real contact point. This is obviously going to be different for everybody. I mentioned previously, right there's the contact point, so I'm going to put one there and possibly try to get one up in the corner, because see, there's this lip here, but there's no lip here, so I could wrap it around here and it would fit through. So I'm going to go ahead, finish finding the the few spots that I want to put the beading wire. This is what it kind of looks like to fit that pod. It needs to be sanded better. That was just with the rotary tool. I'm going to go through and smooth it out, and once it's painted, you'll never even know it's there. Be smart with this. So obviously when you paint it, so you have primer, you have base coat, you have clear coat, you're building thickness. So even if you think you're good here or good anywhere that you're trying to fit something into, go a little further, because you are going to have some thickness that will come into play once the paint is on. So that's pretty much going to be it for these for right now. It is already 2:45, and I know we wanted to go out to dinner for my birthday, so there's no possible way that I'm going to get them painted today, but I am going to have everything literally ready to walk out the door tomorrow and go paint. So yeah guys, stay tuned for that. When you see the next video, unless I'm giving an update, it'll probably be painting, so we'll see you then. Alright guys, this is actually about a week later. I just want to give you an update. Ran into a couple issues. So while I was sanding my shrouds here, I was looking at this one and looking at that one, And as you can see, they are different. The outer shell, as far as, you know, having the 3 or the 4 bars like a T, are the same, but the face is different. So I got a hold of Lighting Trends. I was like, yo, you guys sent me the wrong one. I had to wait, because these are going to be painted white. So I had to wait until Lighting Trends sent me a new one to match before I can go into paint. So I have these all cut out. Make sure, just a heads up, so when you're putting your shroud on, if you're doing a ram here, this part of the plastic right here, you can see, I'll use this one as an example. You see where it's smooth and then textured? This black lip here is going to go up into this smooth part to where it's textured. So make sure that you have enough clearance on your shroud. My projector is just in there loose, but when I push it up, it clears that area. So make sure if you are cutting your shrouds that you do cut enough to fit. I'll kind of give you guys an update on the paint, what I'm using. So I went with the Nason Clear. It's just an aerosol clear. It's not 2K, but it's in the middle of the road between Duplicolor or like Rust-Oleum and then a 2K. It's still the Nason products and higher quality. Going to use an adhesion promoter, of course, using an adhesion promoter for anything as far as plastics go. And then sandable primer. Got the full base. This is just black, just gloss black. My GW7, which is my bright white to color match, and then the reducer for these two. So this is actually the only thing I needed color matched. Obviously I don't need the black to be color matched, but this was actually cheaper than to get, it wasn't cheaper to go than aerosol. Well, some aerosol. So the Duplicolor, the Perfect Match Duplicolor, that's $10 for like a 6-ounce can. This was $7 or $8 for 8 ounces. So it's like $1 an ounce. So to get the higher quality Nason over the Duplicolor in the actual base was actually cheaper in a sense. So this is what I'm using for paint. I'm not going to show you guys that process. If you want to see how to paint, you can go ahead and I'll put a link into my other videos. I'm trying to make these videos as short as possible because there's a whole lot to explain to you guys. So yeah, next time you guys see it, the headlights will probably be painted. But if you want to know how to paint, go ahead and check out another video of mine. Alright guys, so we are home. Everything is finally painted. So this is the finished product here. I popped the reflectors in. I just got done wet sanding and compounding, polishing everything out. Just to get a little bit of overspray, kind of that roughness off. So everything's nice and smooth now. Reflectors are in. Ended up going with, I don't know if the camera will pick it up or not. It's the Chrysler, the Black Pearl. So it's got a lot of flake in it. There, you can see it there. I ended up going with that for the black. And then the projectors are white, so now you can kind of see what I meant by everything now that it's actually painted. So now it is time to get the pods in, get the halos in, get the projectors mounted, and get ready for wiring. So I will update you guys with that.